Hola, ¿qué tal, amigos? This is Profesor Pablo with lesson number 39, 39. We're going to learn how to say where someone or something is. There's all sorts of new vocabulary here, but it's also very practical. You'll enjoy learning how to say exactly where someone or something is. Our verb estar is in red. We have estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. We're familiar with estar. Estoy, I am. Estás, the second one, right, is always you familiar, you are. Está is he, she, or it is, or you formal are. Estamos, the fourth one is always we. And the fifth one is the N factor. N is always ustedes, you plural, or they. Están, they, or you plural, are. Key point, to make a verb negative, simply place the word no in front of the verb. Example, estoy, I am. No estoy, I'm not. Estás, you are. No estás, you're not. Now look at the locations. We have a very, very long list of locations. Let's read through them. It's going to take a while, but we want to introduce these to you, and we'll practice the concept. And we're not going to practice every single one because there are so many, but we want you to know that basically, if you want to say where someone or something is, probably 90% of what you would ever need to know is right here on this list. So let's start with the left-hand column and we'll go all the way down. In the car, en el carro, or en el coche. At a friend's house, en la casa de un amigo. Now, if that's a girl, female friend, you could say en la casa de una amiga. Here, aquí. Around the corner, a la vuelta, a la vuelta. On or at the corner, en la esquina. At my house, en mi casa. At church, en la iglesia. In front or out front, enfrente. Up above, arriba. In front of the school, enfrente de la escuela. In the gym, en el gimnasio. Inside, adentro. Close or close by, cerca. Very close, cerquita. En la calle is in the street. Under the couch, debajo del sofá. At the pool or in the pool, en la piscina. Next door, en la casa vecina. Behind the house, detrás de la casa. Downtown, en el centro. At the shopping center, en el centro comercial. On the freeway, en la autopista. On the roof, en el techo. At the races, en las carreras. At the ceremony, en la ceremonia. At the dry cleaners, en la tintorería. Try that one again. Tintorería. En la tintorería. 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 At the dry cleaners. At the airport. En el aeropuerto. En el aeropuerto. In or at the library. En la biblioteca. En la biblioteca. On top of the table. Encima de la mesa. Encima de la mesa. At the check-in. En la recepción. En la recepción. At the entrance. En la entrada. On the stairs, en las escaleras. In the bathroom, en el baño. At the starting point, en el punto de partida. On the bottom floor, en la planta baja. At the summit, en la cima. At home, en la casa. In the hotel, en el hotel. In the purse or in the bag, en la bolsa. Up the street, calle arriba. Upstream or upriver, rio arriba. On a trip, de viaje. Out in the country, en el campo. Stopped in traffic, parado en tráfico. Now, if you're a guy and you say you're stopped in traffic, you would say parado en tráfico. If you're a girl stopped in traffic, you would say parada en tráfico. But if it's a mixed group, you'd add an S. Parados en tráfico. If it's all girls, you'd say paradas en tráfico. At the hospital or in the hospital, en el hospital. At the bar, en el bar or en la cantina. And at the party, en la fiesta. That is the first column. Let's go over them again. Look at the Spanish, look at the English. I'm just going to say the Spanish. En el carro, en el coche. En la casa de un amigo. Aquí. A la vuelta. En la esquina. En mi casa. En la iglesia. Enfrente. Arriba. Enfrente de la escuela. En el gimnasio. adentro, cerca, cerquita, en la calle, debajo del sofá, en la piscina, en la casa vecina, detrás de la casa, en el centro comercial, en la autopista, en el techo, en las carreras, en la ceremonia, en la tintorería, en el aeropuerto, en la biblioteca, encima de la mesa, en la recepción, en la entrada, en las escaleras, en el baño, en el punto de partida, en la planta baja, en la cima, en la casa, en el hotel, en la bolsa, calle arriba, río arriba, de viaje, en el campo, parado en tráfico, en el hospital, en el bar, en la cantina, en la fiesta. Very, very good. Quite a few. I told you, a lot of new words here to learn. All right, take a big breath. Let's take a look at the column on the right. At the front door, en la puerta de entrada, in the parking lot, en el estacionamiento. That's a long word. We got a couple of diphthongs in there. They glide. Look at the I-O. Estacionamiento. En el estacionamiento. That's a tough word to pronounce. En el estacionamiento. 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 There, allí. Downtown, en el centro, in the cafeteria, en la cafetería, at school, en la escuela, in the office, en la oficina, out back or in back, atrás, down below, abajo, in or at the stadium, en el estadio, outside, afuera, at the store, en la tienda, far, lejos, at the beach, en la playa, under the table, debajo de la mesa, off to the side, al lado, at work, en el trabajo, hidden, escondido, in jail, en la cárcel, at the plaza, en la plaza, on the highway, en la carretera, in the garage, en el garaje, in the shop, en el taller, at the game, en el partido, at the graduation, en la graduación, at the bakery, en la panadería, at the gas station, en la gasolinera, in a jam, en un lío, like I'm in a problem, I've got problems. I'm in a jam, en un lío, in the trunk, en la cajuela. Yeah, if you're in the trunk, you got a big problem. En un lío, in a jam, en la cajuela, in the trunk. In the elevator, en el ascensor. Some people say elevador. Elevador, that's okay. En el ascensor, en el elevador. At the exit, en la salida. In the basement, en el sótano. In the bathroom, en el servicio. At the end of the hallway, al final del pasillo. On the second floor, en el segundo piso. Is this amazing? This is incredible. At the highest point, en el punto más alto. In bed, en la cama. In the wallet, en la billetera. On the patio, en el patio. Down the street, calle abajo. Downstream, downriver, río abajo. On vacation de vacaciones. Vacaciones, vacaciones. Have fun with that word. Vacaciones, de vacaciones. Vacaciones, de vacaciones. In the city, en la ciudad. Lost, perdido. A guy's perdido, a girl's perdida. A group of people are perdidos. If they're all girl, female, they're perdidas. In the doctor's office, en el consultorio. At the gym, en el gimnasio. And at the restaurant, en el restaurante, everybody take a breath. Holy Toledo, a lot of places to be. But this is so practical. This is so helpful for you. You need to say where something is, where you are, where somebody is. And if you look down, you scroll down on your lesson, below the examples, bam, there we go again. Verb conjugations. We're gonna go into the past tense because we don't only want to know how to say where someone is or where we are. We want to say where we were or where something was. And then we have more examples on the bottom, okay? So let's continue the party. Let's get down to the examples. Here we go. I am at work. Estoy en el trabajo. I'm in the library or I'm at the library. Either way, estoy en la biblioteca. A bibliophile is a lover of books. Biblioteca. Estoy en la biblioteca. Are you at home? ¿Estás en la casa? ¿Estás en casa? ¿Estás en la casa? Are you at the check-in for the hotel? ¿Estás en la recepción? ¿Estás en la recepción? It's far away. Está lejos. Está lejos. It's hidden. Está escondido. Excuse me, I'm laughing, I'm smiling because there are just so many of these. It's overwhelming. It's in your purse. Está en tu bolsa. Now, we know that tu is your, familiar. If you want to say your, usted, it's su. Está en su bolsa. But we also know that su can mean his or her. So está en su bolsa could also be it's in her purse, it's in usted, your purse. It's on the roof. Está en el techo. We're at my house. Estamos en mi casa. We're at school or we're at the school or we're at school. We're at school more commonly. Estamos en la escuela. She's in the bathroom. Ella está en el baño. You don't need the ella, but it's good. Está en el baño. They're at the entrance. Están en la entrada. I'm not home. No estoy en casa. Are you guys here? ¿Están ustedes aquí? All right, before we delve into the past, let's scroll back up and let's go to the locations, left-hand column. I want you to look at the English and let's say them together. So as I say it, I want you to say it with me. Take a deep breath. You got to giggle on the way. That's okay. Here we go. En el carro, en el coche, en la casa de un amigo, aquí, a la vuelta. Make sure you look at the English so when you hear it and say it, it's becoming ingrained in your memory banks, okay? Look at the English as you hear me say it and as you hear yourself say it. A la vuelta, en la esquina, en mi casa, en la iglesia, enfrente, arriba, enfrente de la escuela, en el gimnasio, adentro, cerca, cerquita, en la calle, debajo del sofá, en la piscina, en la casa vecina, detrás de la casa, en el centro comercial, en la autopista, en el techo, en las carreras, en la ceremonia, en la tintorería. I like that. It's like climbing a ladder. En la tintorería, en la tintorería. I want you to master that word. En la tintorería, tintorería. En el aeropuerto, en la biblioteca, encima de la mesa, en la recepción, en la entrada, en las escaleras, en el baño, en el punto de partida, en la planta baja, en la cima, en la casa, en el hotel, en la bolsa, calle arriba, río arriba, de viaje, en el campo, parado en tráfico, en el hospital, en el bar, en la cantina, en la fiesta. I bet you a lot of you wish you were in el bar or in la cantina after this lesson. All right, so take a deep breath. It's probably a good idea to have a bottle of water next to you. I go through a lot of bottles of water doing these lessons. All right, are you ready? ¿Están listos? Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get to the right-hand column. Okay? Wet your lips. Take a deep breath. Clear your throat. Here we go. En la puerta de entrada. En el estacionamiento. Allí. En el centro. En la cafetería. En la escuela. En la oficina. Atrás. Abajo. En el estadio. Afuera. En la tienda. Lejos. En la playa. Debajo de la mesa, al lado, en el trabajo, escondido, en la cárcel, don't want to be there, en la cárcel, no way, en la plaza, en la carretera, en el garaje, en el taller, en el partido, en la graduación, en la panadería, en la gasolinera, en un lío, en la cajuela. Like we said before, if you're in la cajuela, you're en un lío. En el ascensor, en el elevador, en la salida, en el sótano, en el servicio, al final del pasillo, en el segundo piso, en el punto más alto, en la cama, en la billetera, en el patio, calle abajo, río abajo, de vacaciones, en la ciudad, perdido o perdida, en el consultorio, en el gimnasio, en el restaurante. Wow. I've got my windows open here in my recording studio at the base of the beautiful San Gabriel Mountains in Southern California. And my neighbors, I'm sure they can hear me. I hope they want to learn Spanish because they're going to hear it all. All right, you're doing very well. Let's take a break, take a breath. Technology is so awesome. You can hit the pause button, take a breath, get a drink of water, and get ready to get back in action. All right, now let's head into the past tense. Scroll down to verb conjugations. Estar, to be. You see verb number 4 for the past preterite. Again, we use the preterite for when we're talking about something in the past for a defined amount of time. That's understood. The past imperfect, verb number 5, is open-ended in the past, not tied to a specific amount of time. So again, we have our two past tenses, VN4, past preterite, VN5, past imperfect. Let's look at the verb estar in the preterite. Estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, estuvieron. Again, the first one is for I. The second one, always listed, is for you, familiar. The third one is for he, she, or it, or usted, you. The fourth one is estuvimos, and the last one, the N factor, N. The N factor, the famous Pablo N factor. Verb ends in N. It's either for ellos or ellas, or the you, ustedes, plural. Now, the past imperfect of estar, estaba, estabas, estaba, estábamos, estaban. Pretty easy. Estábamos has an accent mark on the A, kind of in the middle of the word. And you're starting to see all these words with accent marks. You see the green. Let me give you a little clue on why estábamos has an accent mark. Well, in Spanish, words are supposed to be stressed on the last or the next to last syllable. Anytime any Spanish word is stressed 3 syllables back, the vowel of that syllable gets an accent mark because it breaks the rules of pronunciation, and it tells you to pronounce the word, as we did, estábamos. So this is a quick preview. Again, in Spanish, there are 2 rules of pronunciation. Words are either supposed to be stressed on the last syllable or the next to last syllable. If you have any word, I don't care if it's a verb or a noun or a pronoun, an adverb or an adjective, interjection, hey, if it's stressed 3 or more vowels back, that vowel's going to get an accent mark as it breaks the rule. And remember, if there is an accent mark in a word, it's there for a reason. And now you know one of the reasons. There aren't many, but it's got to have that accent mark, and that helps us to pronounce the word correctly. Estábamos. Okay, accent marks are kind of like traffic tickets. You break the rule, you get a traffic ticket, all right? All right, let's get to the key points. Number 1, verb number 4, past preterite. We haven't even talked about the preterite. We haven't had a lesson. There's a whole grammar section in Profesor Pablo Spanish Learning Systems. It goes over the past preterite in detail. It goes over the past imperfect in detail, okay? But by the time you get to that, you're going to know it by using it. And that's why kids, when they learn to speak their native language, the grammar is instilled. It's ingrained in them already because they hear it, and it's in the sentences right there correctly used. That's why when kids are fluent, like if you're teaching Spanish and you get somebody that's already fluent in Spanish and they say things that are correct, no one told them what the verb tense was. They learned it the natural way, and that's what we're doing. So when we get to grammar, we're going to be way ahead of the game. We're already going to basically know it. But let me tell you something. Knowing grammar and getting a few tips on grammar at the early stages is a tremendous tool. It's like adding wheels to a big bucket. It makes it go by easily and much more quickly. You can learn so much more quickly by knowing a few grammar tips here and there. All right, let's get back to key points. Key point number 2. Use VN4 past preterite to say where one was for an entire amount of time. We said the preterite is used to describe something for a definite amount of time. Now, point 3, the past imperfect, VN5, we use it to say where one was at a given point in time in the past. Here are our examples. Yo estuve en casa. I was home like all day long. I was home when you called. Yo estaba en casa. We were at the beach all last summer. Estuvimos en la playa. There's your preterite. When it started raining, we were at the beach. Estábamos en la playa. There's your imperfect. All day, Mom was at work. Ay, ay, ay. Mamá estuvo en el trabajo. Mom was at work when something happened, like when, God forbid, the earthquake hit. Mamá estaba en el trabajo. Imperfect. Linda was on a trip for all of last week. Definite amount, a defined period of time. Preterite, pretérito. Linda estuvo de viaje. Linda was on a trip when I called her. Linda estaba de viaje. I was on vacation for the month of May. Estuve de vacaciones. I was on vacation. When you stopped by my work, I wasn't there. They said, hey, Pablo's on vacation. So I say, I was on vacation when you came by. Estaba de vacaciones. That's a great word to say. Vacaciones. Just let it explode. Vacaciones. In the last example, Dad was at the city all day long. Papá estuvo en la ciudad todo el día, toda la noche, toda la semana, todo el mes. Papá estuvo en la ciudad. Dad was in the city when unfortunately the car broke down. Papá estaba en la ciudad. That's right. Hey, papá meaning dad or pop or pops, however you want to say it. Yeah, it does have an accent mark. You know what? Papá would be without an accent mark. It would be a potato. Papa. No, papa. All right, we've done the examples. We've gone over the grammar, the past preterite, the past imperfect. We've gone over all the different new nouns for the locations, and we started off with the basics of estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. Okay, let's take the left-hand column and let's try some examples going from the top to the bottom, just random. Let's start with the present tense. I'm at a friend's house. Estoy en la casa de un amigo. It's at the corner. Está en la esquina. I'm at the gym. Estoy en el gimnasio. Dad is at the swimming pool. Papá está en la piscina. Mom is next door. Mamá está en la casa vecina. It's behind the house. The ladder, right? Está detrás de la casa. Danny is at the races. Danny está en las... Are you ready for the double R? You know I'm going to bring it. Danny está en las carreras. Danny está en las carreras. Oh my gosh. My wallet. It's at the check-in. Está en la recepción. Está en la recepción. Mom's at the entrance. Mamá está en la entrada. All right, let's take this into the past and say where we were, just at any point in time in the past. They're saying, where were you? Where were you? Hey, relax. Relax, right? I was in the bathroom. Estaba en el baño. Estaba en el baño. Your room. Where was your room? It was on the bottom floor. Estaba en la planta baja. I was home. Estaba en la casa. Dad was at the hotel. Papá estaba en el hotel. Okay, let's go to we were. We were up the street. Estábamos calle arriba. We were fishing upstream. Estábamos río arriba. Oh, Mom was on a trip. Mamá estaba de viaje. Oh, we were out in the country. Estábamos en el campo. A question in general. ¿Dónde estabas? Where were you? Where was she? ¿Dónde estaba ella? Where was he? ¿Dónde estaba él? Where were you guys? ¿Dónde estaban ustedes? I was at the party. Estaba en la fiesta. All right, let's take a look at the right-hand column, and let's go in the preterite, okay? Let's see here. Yesterday I was downtown. Estuve en el centro. I was at school all morning. Estuve en la escuela. Oh, yeah, we were in the office from 4 to 10. Estuvimos en la oficina. That's right. It was off to the side for about a week. Estuvo al lado de la casa. Yeah, it was in the garage for a week. Estuvo en el garaje. I was at the graduation yesterday. Estuve en la graduación ayer. Boy, were we in a jam. Estuvimos en un lío. I was in bed for 3 days. Estuve en la cama. I think the key point here, I think we certainly understand the verb estar. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. I think we are understanding quite well now the past imperfect. Estaba, estabas, estaba. And the past preterite is kind of new. Estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, estuvieron. We're not as familiar with it because, you know what? We just don't use it as much when you're talking about location. Generally, we use estaba because people want to know where you were, like when they called or when you got home or when night fell or when it started raining, things of that nature. We've done the examples. I think we need to go over the locations one more time. Let's do it together. Here we go. In the car, en el carro, en el coche, at a friend's house, en la casa de un amigo, here, aquí, around the corner, a la vuelta, on or at the corner, en la esquina, at my house, en mi casa, at church, en la iglesia. Hey, repetition is the mother of learning. Don't ever forget that. You learn by doing. The repetition is the mother of learning. In Spanish, we say, la repetición es la madre de la enseñanza. La repetición es la madre de la enseñanza. All right. Out in front or in front, enfrente. Up above, arriba. In front of the school, enfrente de la escuela. At the gym or in the gym. En el gimnasio. Inside, adentro. Close, close by. Cerca, very close. Cerquita. In the street. En la calle. Under the couch. Debajo del sofá. At the pool or in the pool. En la piscina. Next door, en la casa vecina. Behind the house, detrás de la casa. Downtown, en el centro. At the shopping center, en el centro comercial. All right, let's just go. You look at the English, I'll say the Spanish. You say it with me. En la autopista, en el techo, en las carreras, en la ceremonia, en la tintorería, en el aeropuerto, en la biblioteca, encima de la mesa, en la recepción. Attack these words. Don't shy away from these words. Every syllable is pronounced. Every vowel is pronounced. Okay, let's hit it. At the entrance, here we go. En la entrada, en las escaleras, en el baño, en el punto de partida, en la planta baja, en la cima, en la casa, en el hotel, en la bolsa, calle arriba, río arriba, de viaje, en el campo, parado en tráfico, en el hospital, en el bar, en la fiesta. All right, take a break. All right, so much for our break. Our break is just hitting the pause button, right? All right, let's do the right-hand column. Look at the English, say the Spanish with me, and you'll hear the pronunciation at the same time. All right, here we go. En la puerta de entrada, and attack the words. En el estacionamiento. Don't let that word defeat you. You defeat the word. Here we go. En el estacionamiento, en el estacionamiento, estacionamiento, estacionamiento. It's a tough word. I bet you it's one of the top 10 toughest words to pronounce in Spanish. Here we go, picking up with there. Allí, en el centro, en la cafetería, en la escuela, en la oficina, atrás, abajo, en el estadio, afuera, en la tienda, lejos, en la playa, debajo de la mesa, al lado, en el trabajo, escondido, en la cárcel, en la plaza, en la carretera, en el garaje, en el taller, en el partido, en la graduación, en la panadería, en la gasolinera, en un lío, en la cajuela, en el ascensor, en la salida, en el sótano, en el servicio, al final del pasillo, en el segundo piso, en el punto más alto, en la cama, en la billetera, en el patio, calle abajo. All right, here we go. Río abajo, de vacaciones, en la ciudad, perdido, en el consultorio, en el gimnasio, en el restaurante. All right, job well done. That'll do it. Holy Toledo, what a lesson. Saying where you are, there's a lot of saying to do there. Lesson 39, put a big check mark after this one. And I think we all need to take a break after this one. So head down to the refrigerator, grab a bite to eat, get a bottle of water, put your legs up, and take a break. Gracias por todo. Ya terminamos con esta lección número 39. Es todo por ahora. Hasta la próxima lección. This is your Profesor Pablo signing off. Cambio fuera.